Hapoel Holon is still in the midst of their coaching search with an interim coach right now that did just get a win. And I think that's huge for them to give the guys some confidence and, know that they can still get wins even though they're still in this search. And it might not happen this week. It could happen next week. Who knows? But they have some chemistry that can continue to get them wins. So it's important for them to remain in the top 8. But also last week, they lost a key part of their team, Malachi Richardson, who chose to part ways with the team and is now in Italy. So, Darvis, what do you think is key to losing someone like Malachi Richardson?
Well, I think the key, number one, is that he has experience. First being at Syracuse, ACC, a really big division in Division I basketball, a really good league, and then being with the Toronto Raptors last year. So he has a little bit of NBA and professional experience, and to lose that is really huge. He can be a asset just for younger guys or even guys that maybe have not played at that professional level as far as the NBA is concerned. So I think it's a really big loss. But then, as a coach, you look for guys to fill that void. You know what I mean? You look for guys on the bench, those glue guys that we talk about sometimes. So you look for those guys to kind of take control of him being gone, fill that void, and hopefully someone can, make some plays once in a while,
I definitely think that losing a player that can have the ability to score, especially on a struggling team and a team that's trying to find their identity, such as Holon right now, it's important for the other guys to step up and really see, who can add 3 or 4 more points to their average and see, how we make up for this difference. So, you lose a player, whether it be to injuries or a player switches teams, these things happen. But, Holon is going through a tough time right now because, as we mentioned, they're looking for a coach and looking to step up other players that are going to replace Malachi Richardson. But we also have Maccabi Tel Aviv dealing with some injuries right now to their starting lineup. So we've got their starting point guard is out, and he's out for the season at this point. So they're looking for a replacement point guard, looking through Euroleague, looking through China, looking for a quality point guard because John B. Tartolamo was the MVP of the championship last year. So that's not just someone you're replacing, but this is a huge part of your team, as well as Omri Caspi, who's coming to Maccabi Tel Aviv with 10 years of NBA experience. He's also seeing some time out for a knee injury. So these things happen in the midseason, we understand. So Raleigh, what do you think Maccabi Tel Aviv is going through right now, trying to replace some injured players and maintain their top position in the league?
I feel like right now they're just trying to find their stability, stay stable, and keep their momentum going. Losing their starting point guard coming off MVP season is a very big void to fill. He's probably the leader of the pack, the energy guy, the guy that brings the morale up for the team, gives people confidence on the floor. So you need that next guy to step in there and bring that same energy, if not raise it even more, just because you might feel a little defeated losing your leader at an unexpected point in the season.
And they have other players that can step up. There's Tariq Black. There's a lot of experienced forwards there that can help in the absence of Omri Caspi. But, it's also something where you want the chemistry to be there throughout the season. And although they're 8 or 9 games into the season, they're still doing well in Euroleague. It's still important to have those practices, with the full team.
Definitely.
So sometimes, a coach might understand that they need those guys to be there, whether they sit out for a game, as load management is pretty popular right now in the game of basketball, but you still need those guys to practice. So do you think that the other guys, with their high-level experience will be able to step in for Omri Caspi?
Well, I think, first off, Omri Caspi having 10 years of NBA experience, that's also, a really big shoes to fill. But these guys, are going to have to gonna have to step up sooner or later. You know what I mean? The load management thing is really big in basketball, and I think, unless you have something significantly wrong with you, you should play. Another thing is that those practice players, they're not getting a lot of reps in maybe with the first string or the second string guys. So they may be on that third string or something, and without those prominent players in there, it's really difficult to kind of have a, how do I say, like a camaraderie or a flow of the game with new guys. One day you might be playing with 2 or 3 guys, and you start to feed in on their tendencies and what they like to do on the court, and then another day you might be with 2 or 3 other guys. You know what I mean? So it's kind of difficult to get comfortable with guys. And I know we're 8 or 9 games into the season, but you kind of want to find your identity in who you are as a team already. You know what I mean? It's crunch time now, so you kind of have to figure that out soon.
And part of the difference in coming from college into a professional setting is that you are just that. You are professional. So when you are called on to step in, that's what you're supposed to do, and that's what you're paid to do.
Right.
Whether you are used to playing 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes a game,
You gotta be ready.
if someone goes down and you're asked to play 20 to 25, that's what you do. You step in and you do what your team needs to get those wins, or at least stay within the standings. And Maccabi, they've managed to do that. They've stayed undefeated. They continue to be towards the top of Euroleague. So I'm pretty sure that they have the talent, and whoever comes in next to replace John D in his time of recovery, they'll be up to the task. So, we're going to see some changes throughout the league with new coaching changes, new players coming in, and it's natural towards the middle of the season. But, it's exciting times, and the standings are going to be up and down, as they always are with playoffs approaching. But we're far from that. As we said, we're only 8 or 9 games in for most teams. Mm-hmm. So it'll be great to see exactly where we end up going into the new year. And eventually, when we get to the FIBA games break, we'll also see where we are.
Definitely.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Premier Hoops Weekly. We'll see you next week.